If there's anyone playing with a chip on their shoulder in the NFL, it's Baker Mayfield. It almost feels personal with his opponents, and maybe it is. The Buccaneers quarterback left the critics in the dust and answered on the field. Back-to-back NFC South titles, 4,500 passing yards, a 70% completion rate, and 41 touchdowns just last season. And still, some analysts are ranking him below. Jacoby Brissett? Yep. And it doesn't stop there. In today's video, you'll see how Baker turned things around in Tampa and why the arrival of a new defensive powerhouse could take this team to a whole new level. Don't miss a single detail in this BUCS update. Drop a like to show some love. Baker Mayfield's been playing like he has a personal vendetta against every NFL defender, and honestly, maybe he does. Ever since taking the reins in Tampa 2 years ago, he's racked up back-to-back division titles and put up stats that would make any offensive coordinator shed tears of joy. 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and a 70% completion rate just in 2024. Insane. And yet, some people still refuse to give him his due. NFL analyst Greg Rosenthal is one of them. The guy has made it clear he's not exactly a fan of Mayfield's style. Last year, for instance, he ranked Baker below Jacoby Brissett on a current QB list. Yeah, you read that right, below Brissett. Now, on his NFL Daily podcast, Rosenthal doubled down with this gem. If the Buccaneers had a slightly better quarterback, I think they'd be in the inner circle of Super Bowl contenders. He even added, without hesitation, "It's not hate, he's great. But if it were Justin Herbert in that spot, for example, I think we'd be having a different conversation." Yeah, he actually said that. But here's the truth. Baker flipped the script after that messy exit from Cleveland. He showed up in Tampa with nothing to lose and everything to prove, and that's exactly what he did. The locker room rallied behind him, the coaching staff believes in him, and the results speak for themselves. He's not just a good enough player, he's the beating heart of a team that's truly competitive again. Some analysts may still have doubts, but the people in that locker room don't. Baker can lead this team to another Super Bowl. And if he keeps playing the way he did in 2024, it'll be hard to ignore him. So, Bucs fans, do you agree with that analyst who's still doubting Baker despite these wild numbers? Drop your take in the comments. But hold on, if that first news hit hard, the next one might be even more intriguing. The Bucs just opened up the checkbook to bring in a proven pass rusher, and they're still keeping an eye on the draft. The Buccaneers sent a clear message early this offseason. They're serious about upgrading the defense, and they didn't waste any time. The big move? Bringing Haason Reddick to Tampa. The pass rusher signed a 1-year, $14 million deal after a weird season with the Jets. He only played 10 games due to contract drama. But now that's behind him, and if he performs like he can, this prove-it deal could turn into a major payday next year, whether with the Bucs or another team. Still, even with this impact player on board, GM Jason Licht isn't satisfied. Will Reddick help? A lot. But does he fix everything? Not quite. Licht made it clear. If a top-tier pass rusher is available at pick number 19 in the draft, the Bucs will be ready to pull the trigger. No sticking to a specific position, the plan is simple. Take the best player on the board, period. And there's a reason for that confidence. The foundation is already in place. On offense, Baker Mayfield is protected by a solid O-line and has lethal weapons in the passing game, including newcomers like Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan from the last draft. So now, the natural focus shifts to the defense, where there's still room to level up. Adding Reddick, alongside solid names like Antoine Winfield Jr. and the legendary Levante David, builds a strong core. Now it's about finishing the puzzle. Jason Licht and his crew have a solid track record in the draft, and with the structure they've built, they have the freedom to be bold or just smart. What matters most is that the team is on the right path to reclaiming the physical, aggressive identity on defense that Todd Bowles thrives on. And with an offense that's already shown it can light up the scoreboard, fans have every reason to be excited about what's coming. As a Bucs fan, it's hard not to get hyped. Baker silenced a lot of doubters and proved he's way more than a stopgap. And with a name like Haason Reddick joining the defense and the front office still hunting for more firepower, it's clear this team isn't here to mess around. Stay tuned and keep that energy, there's a lot more coming. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any updates on your favorite team.